more evidence that the English were here in the early 1500s, hanging out. Meow. There's also, at this point, he goes to... so we move on to the idea of... shipbuilding. Now, at this point, he spends like a whole page jerking off the town of Devonshire, which is pretty funny. He's just like, Devonshire, all the boats are built in Devonshire. Devonshire was so great. And yeah, he really like Devonshire, right? But he gives him accolades for like making anchors, chains, blah, 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 boats. Listen, man, if you know more about shipbuilding or you're interested in shipbuilding, go to fucking MI. I don't know. I'm not getting into, like, there's lots of stuff in here about, like, sizes and of planks, and they were just building bigger, crazier, more sturdy boats, and then they gives out big shout-outs to the great Elizabethan seamen, Drake, Raleigh, and Hawkins. And basically these guys were experts in shipbuilding as well as navigating, so they could build a boat and sail it too. And these guys were experts, and they sort of had to forge a new way of doing things with these new boats and stuff, because they weren't building it for the Mediterranean. These guys were building these ships, like these behemoths of boats, for the rough conditions and the icy waters of the North Atlantic. It was like rudimentary boats. So, good on you, boys. That's pretty good. I've got it on the bottom of page 36 here. Oh, yeah, this is just a funny quote that I just said. Like the boat, like the man-of-war boats, like the men of war, it just says, men of war had high poops and deck cabins, which Raleigh condemned as sluttish dens that breed sickness and peace. Ordinary fishing vessels in the beginning of the 16th century had flush decks, 3 masts, and blah, 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 but I don't know. They had high poops and slutty cabins. Pretty much just sounds like a cruise ship right now, which we probably should have torpedoed about a month ago. Anyhow, there's another note here, just a direct quote I was going to read. We're almost done. So we have very few records of official voyages to the New World by Englishmen during Henry VIII's reign. Ships of the countries and gallant gentlemen like Hoyes and Gilberts nearly always came to grief, while the bluff-bowed, square, extraordinary little... I'll keep going. Extraordinary little tubs handled by rough fishermen who trusted to latitude, lead, and lookout. Or latitude, lead, and lookout. Man, English is tough sometimes when you're doing cold reads. Lead and Lookout made their voyages continuously for 40 and 50 years without losing a rope yarn, never a mishap, nor a claim on the insurance company, for probably none existed for fishing ships. So what they were saying was that, like, a lot of the time these big, giant, crazy boats, the big ones that they'd spend so much time on, were going out and they'd get wrecked, or stuff would come back broken, beat up, busted, right? But all the little tiny shipping boats that these, like, the hardened, rough, like... the sea dogs, right? They would just go out in their little boats, not a hitch, man. They just, like, they knew what they were at. They were good with the tools that they had. And the boys, like, literally, like I said, never made an insurance claim for the... Now, that could be possibly because there was actually no sort of insurance claim lined up for fishermen at that time of that status. You know what I mean? Unless you were, like, in the Royal Navy or something like that. I don't know. But, basically, the... boots on the ground were a lot better at than some of these gallant explorers, shipbuilders, and stuff like that. Cool. And down. Page big and burly versus small and sturdy. That's the point I just made. And then finally, to kind of cap us off, just near the end of it here, there's just a bit more defense. Man, he really gets on this point. It's just a bit more defense that England was for sure in Newfoundland during the early 1500s. There's some stuff here by a fella named John Rutt, or Root. John Rutt was basically just some fella who went over a couple times, and he's got some stories that it would make it seem that he's just a fucking letter here that's wrote, and there's quotes and stuff like that. Again, not doing it, but it basically implies that he had been over there enough that he was familiar with a lot of the points, places, and things go, which again, given the time that John Rutt was alive, it would further imply that, England were on the go in Newfoundland in the early 1500s. So we haven't really advanced very far in time, but we did learn a little bit more about King Henry VIII, some of the styles of fishing that we had going on at the time. We learned that John Cabot's son was a bit of a shitheel. And who knows where the adventure takes us from here. We're still going to be in chapter 3, coming back tomorrow with more of the reign of Henry VIII. After that, I hope you guys are staying safe, staying sane, staying the fuck out of Costco. I I think this works a little bit better with me reading the book and maybe like take the notes on a computer beforehand. But that's it. Again, a History of Newfoundland by D.W. Prowse, as abridged by Liam Small, 20 days at a time, until they open the bars back up. Hope you're all doing good. Fuck, this is gonna be a long